Okay, so this is the first time that I've filmed something in this room, and I have my tripod on top of my Nosferatu popcorn tin. It's very silly, but it looks like it's working okay, so I'm gonna call that a win. Hello there, guys. My name is Cheyenne, and welcome or welcome back to my dream house. We're in the spooky part of the dream house today. So this is where we take all of the horrors of the world and we put them on the shelf for a little bit. We don't leave them there forever because it is important to stay politically active and aware, but if you do that all the time, you'll go insane. So we do other stuff to keep us from having an MTB. Normally that is a craft thing, but today's going to be a little bit different for the channel, I think. We'll see. So I have been in process of putting my bedroom in the new apartment together. You can see the mask wall. In theory, this video will be coming out after my video putting this room together, so you'll have seen it already, but we're in process right now. Does that make sense? Doesn't matter. But the point is, we have been working really hard to get this room to be the vibes that me and my husband want. I also happened to stumble on Horror Vibes coffee today. I got the Mink Sonata. It's quite delicious, actually. But anyway, what was I talking about? We have been working on this room pretty tirelessly for about the last month to get it to be kind of the vibes we want, the feeling we want in here. And this is where all of our kind of spooky stuff goes. And one of the things that to me, it was a no-brainer that we would put in here with all of the spooky stuff is my Monster High collection. Now, I have been collecting Monster High, I think basically since they initially came out. I'm technically a little old to have the level of nostalgia that some people a bit younger than me have. I started collecting Monster High when they first came out. I want to say they came out the summer between my senior year of high school and my freshman year of college. And I was technically too old for dolls, but they've always been a thing that I loved, and I love monsters and, you know, kind of like fashion aesthetics, and they were just very appealing to me specifically. So I started collecting them back then. So this would have been 2009, which means I've been collecting Monster High dolls for like 15 years. Now, on and off, I try very hard to keep my doll collecting relatively sane. I try very hard just to get the things that I know that I want and not to buy into a lot of FOMO and to be really considered about what I do and don't get. I don't always succeed, right? But I do my best. And I have my boxes of Monster High dolls here. The shelves are up, so it's time to put them up. And I thought it might be fun to do kind of like a collection vlog kind of situation. Do you know what I mean? So we have 2 boxes that are full of Monster High. Now, this one is full. The other one's about half full. That one had Monster High dolls and Rainbow High dolls. But we're going to start with this one. I'm very excited to show them to you and talk through them and all that. So let's get started. Okay, and we're just going to do these in the order of what comes out of the box. I don't have these packed in any specific way. So we're just going to start. Okay, so first off, I have the box for the Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein 2-pack. These dolls right now are currently in our living room because they get put in a different cabinet with a bunch of other Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein things that we own. I might end up putting them in here if there's space. If there's not, I'll leave them where they are. But this came out right before my husband and I had our Bride of Frankenstein themed wedding. So it just felt like fate. And the box was too cool for me to get rid of. But one of my main issues with the Skeletor boxes is I feel like they make it very difficult to display your doll in box easily, right? There's no easy way to leave these open. So for now, that's just the box. Okay, let's see. Who are we gonna pull out? Ah! Okay, so this is my Sweet Screams Frankie Stein. She's obviously from the original Monster High run. She still has all of her accessories. I don't know where her brush is. I have a tendency to just kind of throw the brushes someplace because I don't super care about them. Frankie Stein is my favorite Monster High character, which is not a big surprise to anybody who knows me, knows how much I love just Frankenstein aesthetics. I will probably be using she, her pronouns when I'm talking about G1 Frankie, but I will be using they, them pronouns when I talk about G3 Frankie, because I do have some G3 dolls as well. Her stand does not want to go back together. Ugh. Like, just stay, please. But yeah, fun fact about Miss Frankie here. I actually got her in box at a thrift store back when I was living in California. I don't know why or how she ended up in this thrift store for like, I probably got her for under $10 in box, like brand new, which this was still when G1 was out. And I don't think that, like, there were collectors, but the scene wasn't quite as intense as it is now. So I'm assuming that person didn't really know what they had, but all the more for me. But I really love her. I love the Sweet Screams dolls, like just their aesthetic. I love the more kind of Harajuku-y face up that she has. I think she's super cute. We're probably going to put most of the Frankies together because I do have so many, but we'll see. I don't have a huge plan about where they're going to be arranged just yet. Also a moment for her little licorice dog. But yeah, I'm probably going to just pull them all out and then I'll figure out where they're going to go later. But I just wanted to show them to you guys. And next up we have Honey Swamp. This is also the original Honey Swamp. I don't know if they've done a pre-production of her yet. Here, let's get her hair fluffed back out. Poor thing. There we go. Oh, look at her. She's so incredible. Honey Swamp is one of my favorite Monster High characters. I just think she's so cool and so beautiful. So this one actually was given to me for Christmas by my father when she came out. So my dad has this thing where he, every year, it doesn't matter how old we get, we always each get one toy on Christmas. Actually, because my parents know I collect toys, I often get more than one toy, but you know what I mean. My dad always made sure, no matter how old we were, he would pick out at least one toy for us. And I believe that we walked past her in, I want to say like a Fry's Electronics, and he took note of how excited I was about her. And then I got her for Christmas. And I still have her little clapper and her little movie camera. And here, maybe it'll show them to you. So not a lot of people know this. My degree is actually in film. I, don't use it except to be very annoying about, except to be really annoying about movies, for the most part. I guess I use it like editing and stuff. But for her to be a character who had like black girl hair and was super cool, and then she came with little like filmmaker props, I could not resist it. The little clapper works. I just think that's so adorable. I find her really charming and really sweet, and her color scheme is like totally my vibe. So there she is, Miss Honey Swamp. So cute. Who's next? Oh, we've got our first G3 of the bunch. So if I'm remembering correctly, I think this is the first line of the Secrets dolls. The ones that came with the dumb little coffin things that like were cute for 5 seconds and then it was like, what am I going to do with this? But I believe this is my only G3 Claudine. I don't have that many Claudines, and it's not because I dislike Claudine. It's just I, tend to gravitate more towards Frankie, but I think G3 Claudine is so cute. I really love her face mold. I think I just bought her because I was having a bad day, maybe, but I love her little outfit. I love her little bucket hat, her little boots. I think she's so much fun. I really like how much they add moon motifs to G3 Claudine, which is really nice. But yeah, I don't have a ton to say about her. She's pretty new. I think she's cute. I probably have her other outfit pieces somewhere, but for the most part, when I get a doll that has multiple pieces, I will just mix and match them into whatever outfit I like, and then that's it. I don't change them that much, because I collect dolls. I don't know if I'd say I play with dolls. I'm in my 30s. Do you know, I don't have time for that. Do you know what I mean? So most of what I have is, they're there for vibes, for decor. Okay, now here is one of my OG Monster High dolls. And this is my Roller Maze Ghoulia. I have had her since I was probably 21. I was not into all of the Roller Maze dolls. I thought a lot of their outfits were kind of dumb, but I thought Ghoulia's was just perfect. The brain, oh no, one of her knee pads, come back. The brain helmet, the pigtails, the colors, everything, I just fell in love. And I have had her for a very long time. You can see her thighs are kind of yellowed, like whatever plastic they're made out of, discolored faster than anything else on her. Sometimes I think about attempting to fix it, and then I just don't. So maybe someday I will. Maybe that can be a project we do on this channel. But I think she is so much fun. I think she's so cool. She is one of my big favorites, and also one of the things that I would cosplay. I've never done a full-on Monster High cosplay. I've done like Monster High inspired looks before, and I don't know why, because I think they're great. So maybe someday I will. All right, next up, we've got another more modern one. This is, I didn't have a G3 Ghoulia yet, and they did the, what are they called? Skulltimate Secrets. They did a Skulltimate Secrets Ghoulia, so I was like, oh, that would be super cute. And in particular, these are have day-glow bits, which was very appealing to me because, again, I'm a slut for things that glow in the dark. I don't know. I have mixed feelings on G3 Ghoulia. I have a soft spot for Ghoulia as a character, but I was really uninterested in her original doll. It was like mostly cute, but then I think her skirt just looked really bad to me. And I ended up getting this one just so I could have some representation of G3 Ghoulia. But I'm not obsessed with her. Like, she's on the list of ones that if I needed to declutter the collection, I might get rid of. But she does have a lot of touches that I think are really, really nice. I love her little choker. I love her little ramen cup. I don't know if you can see that. No. Her little ramen cup is full of brains, which I think is really fun. She comes with her little laptop. She's very ready for a real hardcore gaming sesh, which I just think is super cute. Her webcam looks like a little eyeball. There's a lot about, I think G3 is definitely not perfect, and it's also one of those things where sometimes I just have to remind myself that G3 is not for me. Do you know what I mean? And that's fine. But there are still those little details and those little moments and those little thoughts, which are the things that I think make Monster High really special. Obviously, I like the spooky element. I like monsters. I like all of that. But I specifically like how much thought and time has clearly gone into the design of every single Monster High character. And those details are still there in G3, which I think is nice. Oh, speaking of which, character design and thoughtfulness in G3, we have got our G3 Venus McFlytrap. Now, this is actually the only Venus McFlytrap that I own. I had no particular interest in the original Venus McFlytrap, but as somebody who grew up a lighter-skinned black girl in the early 90s, seeing characters that have natural hair and braids and stuff, I am an absolute mark for that. And I thought that she was so pretty and so cute that I could not resist her. I had to get her. I really want to get the gardening club one that they put out where she's got a beautiful brushed out fro as well. But I really love her. I think she's super cute. She's super, just the amount of thought that went into every single thing that she has. She has a little mister. She has a little trapper keeper. I just think it is so sweet and so delightful. And another thing about G3 that I really love, that I wish got more love, is the amount of detail they put into these little phones. Look at that. That's so cute. But yeah, so that's her. Okay, so next up I have my Boo Original Creep Productions. I think all 4 are in here. Yes. Okay, so I have the 4 Boo Original Creep Production dolls that were the original 4 that they put out. I absolutely had each of these dolls back in the day, like the originals, but, you know, God knows, through like moving and being poor and all kinds of stuff, when they put the Creep Productions out, I had to get them. I was so determined because I was like, if these sell out and I can't get them, I made my poor husband take me to 4 Walmarts on, I think it was Friday the 13th that they came out. I made him take me to 4 Walmarts that day because I was like, I will be damned if I cannot get these dolls. So we've got our Frankie, again, my favorite. I love, this is, like, this look is iconic. There's so much about the original Monster High characters that you get such a sense of, like, their vibes and their personality right off the bat. There's so much thought that was put into them. And I love their face mold. I love everything about them. We've got our little What's-It. And these I do seem to have the brushes for. I don't know why I don't have the brushes for anything else. But I have them for the creepos for some reason. And then we've got our Claudine, who also looks great. Claudine, I think she looks great. I think she looks exactly like I remember her. We've got our Draculaura. And I know when these came out, there were people who didn't like the screenings on the Draculaura because it's not exactly what the screenings were on the originals, but I feel like the screening on the Creep production fits her a little bit better to me. She looks a little bit sweeter. The original Draculaura looked a little bit more like fierce, which obviously is fine. We love that, we stand. But in terms of the vibes, I feel like that fits Draculaura more. We've also got her little parasol and Count Fabulous, our love. And then we've also got our Laguna. Now I have actually got a huge, oh no, her arm. I have a huge soft spot for Laguna. Laguna, I believe, was the first Monster High doll that I ever bought. Frankie's my favorite now, but I remember really being obsessed with the fact that Laguna had little fins. I thought that was so cool. I thought she was just so delightful. And it was very much here. Just a moment. I have to fix her arm or it's gonna break. But yeah, Laguna is the one who really charmed me originally. I was obsessed with the fact that she has webbed ears, the little webbing between her fingers and her leg fins and her arm fins. I was just entranced by her. A thing that I feel like doesn't always get talked about in terms of how revolutionary Monster High was in a lot of ways, the fact that each of the characters had individual face molds was a huge deal at the time. I vividly remember that. Like, I mean, obviously Barbie has different face molds for like Teresa and, you know, Christy, but there was something about each one of these characters having completely individual face mold and like ear placement and these little monster details. The fact that Frankie has neck bolts, all of that was actually genuinely in the regular doll community kind of mind-blowing at the time. Like, people were shocked. It was really, which I know sounds crazy, but it was real. Like, trust me on this. Laguna was the doll for me that really exemplified that. I do have a big soft spot for her. Frankie's my favorite. Like I said, I have the most Frankies, but this OG Laguna will always have a big, big place in my heart. Her hair is a little struggle bus right now. Eventually, I would love to try to recurl it and get it looking a little bit nicer, but it's one of those things where for now she's fine the way she is. You know what I mean? Let's see. I can never remember this little mermaid ghost girlie's name. I'll put it in the text because I cannot remember her name. But yeah, she's from that like weird hybrid doll line that they were doing back in the day. She's a ghost mermaid. I got her at the same time that I got this Frankie. I got them at the same thrift store. And I remember, I feel like they had like a third or fourth doll there, and I just picked two, and I wish I'd gotten them all. She is really hard to display because to stand, you have to like spread her tail out, and it's very awkward. So I'm not positive if she's going to go with everybody else yet. We'll find out. We'll see. And of course, in picking her up, I have messed up the base for Sweet Scares. Frankie! Oh, there's a part of me that would love to get all of the Sweet Scares dolls, but I try, like I said, I try very hard to collect in a way that's sane. And at least right now, the Monster High collector prices are not very sane these days. I think just because the folks who grew up playing with Monster High are old enough to be hitting their first wave of nostalgia. So they're really, really popular right now. There will be a time where that'll go back down, and I will probably get more at that point. But I try really hard to keep my collecting to the point where it's not gonna cut into my real life. And right now, if I'm buying dolls, I'm normally buying older Barbies, because older Barbies, specifically like 90s Barbies, are actually very easy to get in pretty collectible condition at prices that I view as reasonable. So I don't actively where I'm not actively like looking for Monster High dolls as much. But that doesn't mean I don't love them, because I do. And next up is our Operetta. So this is my original Operetta from when Operetta first came out. If I'm remembering correctly, I believe my friend Jordan from college got her for me because I was so obsessed with this character and I really, really wanted her. When I was in college, I was full rockabilly, like the whole deal, Betty Page bangs, wearing 50s clothes every day, the whole dealio. So when they put her out, I was like, I need her. She has not been dusted in a while. So we'll have to get to that in a second. And she's another one that you can tell is my OG doll because of how much she's cut and yellowed over the years. You can kind of see it. Her legs have started to yellow and her arms have yellowed a little bit as well. I believe I used to put these like on my windowsill when I was in college. And I think that the sun exposure is probably what really yellowed them. I've also still got her little spider. But I have a big soft spot for Operetta. When Operetta dolls look good, I am obsessed with them. Operetta doesn't have as many good dolls as some of the other characters, but she's another one that I have a big, big soft spot for. So yeah, that's my OG Operetta. Okay, so now I have stuff in boxes specifically. So let's pull these guys out. Okay. Ooh, see, finally, they did eventually listen to me about the display situation. So this is my Creature from the Black Lagoon Monster High doll. They put this out for the anniversary, and I could not resist her. I think she is so cool. She is so just incredible. I've been leaving her in the package for now. I might eventually take her out, but again, she's actually displayed in a sane way where I could just display her. So she might get displayed in here. I've talked in the past, my husband and I have a Creature from the Black Lagoon themed bathroom, so sometimes we've talked about putting her in there, but for now, she's fine just like this. I'm going to put her front of her box back on her for right now until I figure out where she's going to go, but she's probably going to get displayed without this, just on this shelf, I think. I don't know. It's going to depend on how much room we have, to be honest, because the collection it's expansive. It's expansive. I'll say that. And then next up, okay. Next up, we have the Skelector Operetta. I had to get her because, again, Operetta was my girl back in the day. There was a lot of controversy when she came out because people were saying they didn't think that she looked like Operetta. And she doesn't have the exact same face as OG Operetta, but I feel like she reads. I love her little rockabilly outfit. I love her little purse. I was very excited about this, and I've kept her in the package just because I think that the packaging is really cute. I might take her out eventually, but for now, my rule when it comes to collecting dolls and toys and packaging is if I get more joy out of it being in the package, then I leave it in the package. But 90% of the time, I want to take that thing out. I want to touch it. I want to play with it. I want to pose it. Do you know what I mean? But for now, Operetta. And also, if I remember correctly, when I got Operetta, I had basically no space left. So I was like, she'll stay in her box for now until I figure out what I'm going to do with her. And then I think the last one we have in here. Okay. So last up, we have them. They're in their box, but I took them out, so they're just kind of hanging out in there. We have the Chucky and Tiffany 2-pack that they put out for Valentine's Day a couple of years ago. Now, I had to get these. Chucky is my favorite slasher killer. He is my favorite. And I wrote a term paper about the Child's Play movies when I was in film school. So when they announced this, they didn't even post full pictures of them. It did not matter to me. I was there refreshing the page on Mattel Creations, trying to get them, and I got them, and I love them. They might go in here. I do have a little Child's Play like area out in the living room, so they could also end up out there if there's not enough space in here. And that is box number 1. So that's one box of Monster High dolls down. So now we're gonna move into box number 2. Okay, and like I said, box number 2 isn't quite as full as box number 1, but it does have some real treats in it, if I do say so myself. Okay, first off is my Frightfully Tall Frankenstein. Like, Frankenstein is my favorite. I had always wanted a Frightfully Tall. I didn't get one when they came out, and my friend Jill actually found me one, I think she said on Mercari. She was like, hey, I found this, it was really cheap, I'm getting it for you. She needs a little bit of love. She's got like a dark mark on her head that I need to figure out how to address, and then I need to repaint her lips at some point. I mean, really, also I need to fix her hair up a little bit, although sometimes I think about maybe just like giving her bangs to hide that spot on her forehead. I don't 100% know. I need to get like a BJD doll stand for her because she's pretty tall, but she might, for now, she might just like sit on the... She can sit ladylike, can't she? Yeah, she can sit ladylike enough for our purposes. So she might sit on the edge of the shelf. We shall see. But she is one of my prized possessions. Thank you so much again, Jill. I love you. And next up, yeah, there's a lot more Frankies in this box. You'll see. It's a lot more Frankies. I have a lot of Frankies, okay? Listen, she/they are my favorite. Okay, so, oh, this is one of my favorites. So this is Frankie as Threadarella from the Fractured Fairy Tales line that they did. I would love to have all 3 of these because there was also a really cute Draculaura, and I would really love to have this Claudine, where she's like Little Red Riding Hood. I think that would be so much fun. I got her secondhand. I think I actually bought her on Amazon, surprisingly enough. She wasn't in package when I got her, but she came in pretty good quality. So that's why she's on a pink, like a Barbie stand. But I am a huge sucker as somebody who's a seamstress and a craftsperson and loves Cinderella and Frankenstein. I am a sucker for any time that they put Frankie in anything that's kind of sewing based. And Threadarella is like one of the best examples of that. She's got a crown that's all needles. She's got this little thread purse. She's got scissor heels, and I just love her little like I love her little patchwork dress. I think she's so much fun, and I got her for a pretty good price if I'm remembering right. I think I got her for like 30 bucks. So that to me is reasonable. Do you know what I mean? She definitely, her joints are a little loose. Her joints are a little loose, but overall she's in really good shape. I have a really big soft spot for her, so I'm just really happy I have her. But yeah, I have a huge soft spot for her. Eventually, I would love to try to get Home Ick Frankie for the same reason. She's a little bit harder to find in good condition, but someday I would love to have her. I'm like I said, part of the joy of collecting for me is the thrill of the hunt, the thrill of like finding out like where I can find something, getting it for a decent price. That's my favorite stuff. All right, and then next up we have, I think this is our first G3 Frankie that we're pulling out. So this is Neon Rush Frankie. Another one who I don't think came with, a lot of the The G3 dolls don't have stands, which I don't love. So they're all on my, you know, my generic pink Barbie stands. But for them, it really works, actually. So camp, so ridiculous, so like gem and the holograms coated. I could not resist. I love the keytar. I love the boots. I love this little shiny peplum. I think they are so much fun. So this was a G3 that I had to get. I feel like I never see anybody talk about them. But yeah, and I have all the little accessories and stuff. I don't know where I'm going to put those. So we'll see about that. Are you going to stand? Are you going to behave? Okay. But yeah, they came with, and it's not that shocking because they're a Playline doll, but they came with, and honestly, this is one of my main complaints against the G3s in general. They come with so much plastic tat. Like so much little, there's a little bracelet, there's a little hair clip, there's a little hairspray. Okay, I forgot this. The hairspray is actually kind of incredible. Are you gonna focus for me, maybe? Fine. The hairspray, the little cap comes off, which I think is very cute. And they come with like a hair dryer and a water bottle and a thing of snacks. And it's just like, why all of this, you know? But again, these dolls aren't for me. I'm sure if I was a small child playing with them, I would be so excited about all of the little stuff that they came with. So that's just me being honest. But I struggle with that sometimes with the G3 dolls. Another G3 Frankie. I told you Frankie's my favorite. I love Frankie. This Frankie was actually a little controversial. So this was the first Skulltimate Secrets Frankie. And there were a lot of people that were upset about the hat because they felt like it looked like a certain German, you know, group of people that we don't like. But honestly, military hats like this are common in a lot of different cultures. So I felt like that was a little overblown. And I know people were saying because there's a lightning bolt on it, but like, it's Frankie. That's why there's a lightning bolt. I just thought it was cool. I really like it on them, so I've left it on. You can say whatever you want. You can come fight me in the comments, but like, listen, you know that I'm not a Yahtzee. I'm a black woman. And I've said in other videos how pro punching those people I am. So like, not everything's that deep. That's all I'm saying. Not everything is that deep. Some things are, but not everything. Let's see. Everybody's falling over. I'll deal with that later. And then, yeah, this is just the Frankie box. The Cinema Screams Frankie, who I was so lucky to get. These went so fast. They have not been restocked, which I think is crazy. But the second that they put them out, I had to get Frankie. So back in the day, they did a black and white Frankie as a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. It's basically impossible to get now, but I wanted it so badly. So when they put this out, it's basically the same thing, just with a pop of blue in their hair. So I snapped her up. I needed her. I would have loved for the pop to have been green instead, but that's just me. I also wish that she still had the mismatched eyes. They made both of her eyes blue, which I don't love, but hey, whatever. I'm really happy that I have her because she's so hard to find now. All right, we're getting down towards the end of the box. It's gonna be mostly Frankie's. You cannot make fun of me. I love Frankie, okay? All right, so next up, ooh, okay. This is a fun one. This is, oh my God, I can't even remember the name of this one, but this was like a slightly more like high-end Frankie that they put out a little while ago. And look at that dress. I just fell in love. I think this is so cool. They have a slightly more collector kind of stand. I cannot remember. Like I said, I will put the name. Editing Cheyenne can inform you. But I love a Frankie that's in a more kind of couture look. I love a Frankie that, again, is kind of has like scissors and stitches and just that little bit of like sewing influence. I think they're so pretty. I think their face is beautiful. I think their hair is beautiful. I do think the little crown's a little silly. Like, it's a little too tall, but I love this Frankie, and I'm so glad that I have her. And again, she's a G1 Frankie. I use she, her pronouns when I'm talking about G1 Frankie. They, them when I'm talking about G3. Just for clarity. Okay, I lied. It's not all Frankies. There's also a bunch of G3s in here. So I have my G3 Abby Abominable. I was so just enchanted by the new Abby. Everything about her. The fact that she has a bigger, kind of thicker build. I love the outfit. I love the sparkles in the hair. I love the little horns. Perfection. The little pink on the nose, the little blushy nose, like, it's just, I genuinely think that G3 has had some really successful dolls. In my opinion, G3 Abby is just exquisite. I think that she conveys so much personality and attitude and vibe, and she looks so cute, and she's sparkly. And those are all things that I look for in a doll. So, 10s across the board, as far as I'm concerned. Oh, we've got our G3 Twyla. I want to say this is the Creep Over Twyla. The second that I saw this little bunny bonnet, I had to have her. Her bangs could use a little TLC. Okay, we'll work on that. I've always loved Twyla. Twyla's kind of like pastel goth vibe is very much an aesthetic that I've always clicked with, and I love a dumb little bonnet. Like I said, the second I saw that little bunny bonnet, I knew that I needed her. I love her little quilted bunny bag. I love her little shoes that are like little spooky houses. I find G3 Twyla so adorable. I really want to get the basically like off-brand D&D one. I would love to get that one at some point. And I think there's another Twyla that I kind of wanted, but I cannot remember now. But the point is, we love Twyla. I'm running out of space to set them down. Right. And then I also have a Creep Over Draculaura. Actually, I'm kind of shocked looking through this how few Draculauras I have. I genuinely really love Draculaura. I love Draculaura's aesthetic. I love pink. I love the kind of Victorian goth vibe. I really love the way that they have given new Draculaura like that slightly curvier body. There's a lot about Draculaura that I have a huge soft spot for, but apparently I don't have that many Draculauras. I think it's because even though I really love Draculaura, I don't like, most Draculaura girlies are rabid and a little scary, and it's very like, I'm not going to compete with them to get a Draculaura. Do you know what I mean? I can get a Frankie and be perfectly happy. I'm not going to go into a Thunderdome for a Draculaura. If that makes any sense. But I thought this one was super cute. I thought the creepovers in general were really adorable. If it wants to focus on her, why won't we focus on my daughter? Okay, there we go. I loved the little bat headband. I loved the little bat slippers. I thought this was super, super cute. So I could not resist. But now that I'm realizing how few Draculauras I have, I might have to remedy that in the future because it's kind of crazy. There are definitely other Draculauras that I would like. But, you know, you gotta pick the battles. Okay, ooh, another G3. I've got a decent amount of G3s just because they're fun and they're easy to get right now. But we've got our G3 Caddy Noir. The second they put Caddy out, I had to get her. I think she is so beautiful. I love this like deep, deep, dark, like black skin they've given her. I love her hair. Her outfit's a little meh to me, but, and the fact that it's a doll that is this thick and like faux legs and everything, I just think is so great and so cool. And I could not resist her, but again, I thought her outfit was a little mid. But I have her, and I love her. Let's see. We have, oh, I have a dance class Laguna that really is more like fodder than anything. I might do something with her eventually, but like... Ooh, we've got the original G3 Frankie. I really liked this doll. I know not everybody was obsessed with Frankie's original like meat look, but I think it's really fun. I think it's really cute. I think they look really great. If I haven't said it yet, I am obsessed with G3 Frankie's prosthetic leg. I am just obsessed with G3 Frankie's prosthetic leg. I think it is so fun and smart, and it makes so much sense for the character, and that is like representation that I'm sure that children with prosthetics basically never see. I love the little sneakers. I think they're so cute. So, and again, I can't resist a Frankie, okay? I love Frankies. All the Frankies. Like, I'm pretty sure that my collection is at least half Frankensteins at this point. I love Frankie. And then, let's see. Another Frankie. So this was the, like, winter Skulltimate Secrets that they did. Again, but this was like at the point where I was starting to be like, okay, why are there 47 Skulltimate Secrets and what am I supposed to do with all of these dumb little thingies? But I was really tempted by this one just because I think that this Frankie's face is really beautiful. I love the little fur. I was just very charmed. So I ended up getting them. Eventually, like, this is not one that, like, was a be-all, end-all for me. Do you know what I mean? But I really like it. I think they look really cute, really fun. I wish, I don't see their little, they had a little, like, a spiked headband, which I really liked. Again, I can't resist a Frankie. I can't. Okay, we have one doll left, and if I do say so myself, I feel like I've saved the best for last. Okay. So last up is my San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Freak du Chic Draculaura. Like, listen, as I've mentioned, I'm not the biggest Draculaura stan in the world, right? I love her, but I'm not gonna, like, get in fistfights about her. When they announced this, she is so beautiful. I am a big circus girly, a big clown girly. I would have loved to have gotten all the Freak du Chics, but I was able to get her, and my friend Jill actually got her for me. She goes to San Diego Comic-Con every year, and I think she's just so gorgeous, so beautiful. I love that her box can be displayed either way because she's on this little trapeze, and like even the logo is made where you can display her either way. I normally display her this way, but again, I leave her in the box because the box is just delightful and great and wonderful. And then it also has this piece, this like bat piece that's like a dust cover. So sometimes I've left this on. I'll probably take it off now that there's enough space to really display her. But we'll see. But I am so proud of her. I'm so happy to have her. So I think everything is going to fit. I will say I've started putting things up, and I definitely feel like I might have to put a light above them. Right now I have a light above my mirror, and then the dolls are above that, and it feels like they're not getting the love that they would get if there was a light above them or a light like shining onto them. So I'm gonna have to work on figuring that out because I want them to be like obviously very prominent. But I'm really happy with them. If you are interested in the future, maybe I'll do a video talking about what dolls I want next, because there are ones I want. I've kind of slowed down in my collecting of them, like I said, partially because Monster High dolls are very like overly collectible right now. Partially because I was working on my Barbie collection, partially because I'm in a smaller place, so I have to be very, very intentional about every doll that I get. But they make me happy, and they felt like they needed to be in here, so here they are. Thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna leave all links for all the things down in the place. If you have a favorite Monster High doll, please comment. I would love to talk about it with everybody. In case nobody's told you recently, you are special and you are loved and there's nobody like you. And I am so glad that you're here. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.